Yeah.
Or Doom.
Yeah, or if you ban something like the Quap just to deny it to EHOME, then you're letting through the Doom, the Slardar, and the draft gets pretty open at that point.
If they let out the Doom, they could have responded if Doom was picked up with like the sort of Ancient Apparition that teams have been kind of like messing around with, which then might force EHOME into that awkward like Slardar first pick instead and say, go ahead, you take the Doom, but they just ban it out. They don't want to be playing that game, which does open up the Queen of Pain first pick if EHOME wants to take that.
Yeah, there you go. I imagine Vega take away the Tusk. Maybe
is this wise? Queen of Pain, CTY?
Night Stalker Disruptor.
just straight off the bat.
I mean, it's kind of pick your poison to a certain extent, and you only have so many bans, but I don't know if you can call it wise until we see that they prove they can beat it. They do have good heroes to lock down Queen of Pain, though. Really good lockdown.
And in my mind, this is actually probably the best opening you could possibly have against the Queen of Pain. Night Stalker does especially well against Quap. They have good synergy as well. The natural aggression of the Night Stalker frees up space for Disruptor to get good glimpses. You need aggressive heroes to play off of Disruptor.
You don't think Night Stalker Tusk would have been a little bit better?
I think the Tusk you can argue for, also just to block it, because I mean, as we discussed,
I definitely. Otherwise, you'd give it away, which is exactly what they've done. Is that not really dangerous?
I think it's super dangerous. I think I would have preferred to see the Tusk picked over to Disruptor, because Disruptor you can grab at a later phase, and
they have the option of like offlaning the Tusk. You can run the Night Stalker as a roaming support, or vice versa. So you're not committed to bad lanes.
And Tusk can also protect the Queen of Pain from these silences from both of these heroes. So
you jump her, you just snowball her, and it's turn the fight.
Very risky.
Alternatively, depending on how the fight goes, Tusk is also very susceptible to immediate lockdown from the Disruptor as well. But I do agree. I think the Tusk would have been a better pickup, and hope that Disruptor survives through the 3-4.
But Disruptor is also kind of nice for Snowball if they're relying on the Tusk for initiation, which they almost exclusively play it as an off lane.
Yeah, so once again the Gyro gets banned. I think, and like you said, Cap, this is a...
Yeah, and Brood.
Yeah, the Brood not even slipping through to that last ban.
That third ban, I think, for EHOME has been Brood in every match.
Yeah.
Minus the last one.
It's the we don't want to get cheesed. This is a change-up. Vega going for the IO. They have not run one in their last 10, actually 11 games now.
It's been a fairly common pick for both of these teams, though.
Yeah, in the past, hasn't been picked up as often for Vega Squadron, but going back, Solo does play a very good Wisp, which is a little bit... He seems to be very focused on certain heroes. And right now, I thought it was going to be more about the ganking style, but I guess they're going to fall back on a little bit more defensive nature.
It definitely seems like they want Tiny. They banned Bristleback and Viper. These are the two tanks that are probably two of the hardest heroes in the game for them to combo, so... Looks like they're specifically going for that. I don't think EHOME is going to do anything crazy like a block pick. They'll get a very tanky hero, Dragon Knight.
The Breathe Fire especially much more powerful than it used to be against Tiny because the percentage-based damage reduction.
And the Abaddon, this is an interesting grab this game. It doesn't... It is against, I guess, the Night Stalker stance, but I wouldn't say it's as good as how it looked last time.
There's not that much single target.
Yeah.
What would be the main reason for having that?
And you can't shield off the glimpse or anything like that.
I mean, maybe it's just a safe support that London feels comfortable playing that won't really die. We've seen a lot of fights just, the supports immediately eliminate. I would agree that it's a much more strange pick this game than the last game, but it still definitely has its uses.
How has that only come out in the last two games, though? Why have we not seen that?
I mean, PPD picks it now and then. I think he picked it at MLG, so it's just, some teams...
in particular for EHOME, why would they wait until now?
It's in their arsenal, I would say. Like, they ran it once 10 days ago. They ran an Omni Knight as well. So these defensive supports seem to be like a kind of a, up your sleeve card.
He also doesn't care if Night Stalker jumps him, which I think might be also another pretty good use of the hero.
Yeah, going back to it, I think it's the read on LGD versus EHOME in the Summit matchup, that Game 5 where they picked up the event. They specifically picked it with a Queen of Pain against, I think it was a Disruptor as well. It removes the silence. I think they're just a lot of focus on, okay, they have counters to the Queen of Pain. Let's try and prolong the Queen of Pain's life as much as possible, which did work out for them in that series. So.
But then you could also pick something like a Wyvern, potentially, a Dazzle. Dazzle does get banned now, but they could have gone for it, I suppose.
Careful. Sir Action Slacks just got very, very excited.
They might actually have to escort.
But those heroes are actually
gets picked. I don't think he'll be able to contain himself.
The other ones are actually jumpable by Night Stalker, though.
Yeah.
So that's...
The Abaddon, once he gets 6, you're not going on him. So they banned out the Ember. This is, whenever you run this tiny IO, you want to have that hero that can... You want to have vision, and you want to have heroes that can set up ganks. So Night Stalker can somewhat do that. a second hero that can assist in that endeavor is definitely advisable. And Ember is definitely a comfort hero for Vega, so I like that ban. But EHOME are looking like they may just want a 5-man, and Vega are not that good at playing defense, so right now they look like they need that early lead, or at least to avoid the five-man engagements.
I mean, Abaddon's also good versus a lot of potential picks that Vega might have, right? Like, it's good against TA, it's good against Wind Ranger, it's good against Lina. Like, it's good against a lot of heroes, and while it might not be currently, like, exceptional versus the heroes that are already in play, it really limits what Vega can pick in the later phases.
I think you have a pretty strong laning hero. I'm trying to think of what's really left, because the Ember Spirit and Gyrocopter are banned away. Like, the Sven pops up to mind because it's an alternative hero that the Wisp can go for. It does have some laning phase presence. But I think that you need something a little bit stronger to couple with the Disruptor to make sure you still have a very strong laning phase. Otherwise, they could just fall apart really quickly. At their top lane, the bottom lane's going to be won by EHOME most likely, and then it's just like, okay, hope the Tiny Wisp wins.
It's CTY bottom, almost certainly. He's definitely winning that lane, so... Yeah, that's where you definitely want to make sure you trade with your own safe lane.
Yeah, there's not too many picks left. Maybe something like, I don't know, Juggernaut.
Even like a Spirit Breaker, maybe? I'm not really sure. I guess they need a little more damage, though. Slardar. Well, they're apparently not flummoxed the Abaddon than what he did last time.
Not phased by it at all.
They picked it into a Dragonite as well, who's normally very good against these minus armor strats.
And a Shadow Shaman to finish us off. So, Vega versus EHOME. EHOME 1 game away from advancing. Vega 1 game away from being eliminated. Let's rejoin our commentators, Synderen and Toby1.
Thank you very much, Paul. Yes, we are back here again for game number 2. Vega up against EHOME. I'm Toby1 here with Synderen, and once again, we appear to be the Abaddon series. It is the second game. We'll have him up. Or Abaddon, depending on how you pronounce him.
Abaddon.
Abaddon.
Abaddon, yes.
Sorry, Warcraft 3 habits.
He had the same name.
Yeah, he did.
But anyway, I think from a draft perspective in this game, I favor EHOME quite a lot. As the panel brought up, there's not that much wave clear or defensive potential in Vega Squadron's lineup, and it's very clear what EHOME are trying to do. They want to ram down your towers with a Dragonite, plant the Serpent Wards, use Abaddon to help protect their core. So Vega needs to come off to an explosive start in this game. I don't think slow playing it with IO Tiny just waiting around is going to work. EHOME will take the fight to them, so they need to be ready.
Yeah, I agree. But when is your timing going to hit? That's probably the biggest question about this game. Where you've got Slardar, Night Stalker, Tiny, all three of these heroes require time to come online. Same for the Disruptor. Even the Wisp, if he doesn't get that first rune, his influence in the early game is going to take a while before it comes online. So my biggest concern is Vega is just not ready when EHOME are ready to push. That's why I was almost wondering, like, when did the lane switches come? We were sort of talking about it before when the draft was happening. It's like, what do you even do when you look at these lanes? How can you kill off a DK when potentially the Abaddon could be behind him the entire time, shielding him up, and DK's already fairly tanky? And when Shaman hits level 6, he can just have all the space in the bottom lane. Because CTY is obviously playing that safe lane Queen of Pain. It's so safe for him to be there, and you can't really kill the off-lane Tusker.
Well, it is just a special game in the sense that it has the potential to be 15 minutes long. If everything clicks for EHOME, okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, let's say 20. If all comes together and they don't lose the laning stage, they can roll over Vega. And if Vega gets a good early game, this game could be an absolute stomp from their side or a very long one.
Look at him actually throwing him out. They're going to get both runes because of this. Lannon's got the shield up, does so much damage, and no one. The shards are in position. Solo has to tether back down to him, but this is that lack of rune that Vega just can't get. So the Queen of Pain gets the bottom, and the DK gets the top.
A good start here for EHOME. I think they might have even been able to get a kill there. If Old 11 had held his Ice Shards a bit longer when they were retreating, Ice Shards can actually block entirely in that in the area between the two cliffs above the river. But he threw it a little bit shorter. It still secured them the rune and forced Vega away, so mission accomplished.
Note that we are looking at the Abaddon heading up to the north. So he is going to help out Old 11 at the very, very start. It's one of the easy things you can do as an Abaddon. Just shield up and run at the enemy. They got no option. Like, what are they going to do? Back into you and then take all the damage?
How do you kill a bad Tusk?
You
What
don't.
a lane.
You don't. I think this lane might even be harder than running something like an Undying with the Tuskar as well. Because you just don't find any kills, so everything just comes down to CS.
Well, if Old 11 keeps getting hit like this by Pasha, then he's going to make it possible. He just took a lot of damage here trying to get a couple CS. But yeah, this Disruptor pick cannot kill these two heroes. It's not a burst-oriented support, so...
Also, the one ability which he leveled up doesn't really work with what Vega have, because they don't have any extra damage on top. Like, you might be able to crush, and he went for the Kinetic Field as his first ability. So what do you want to do? You want to lock Tuskar up? He'll just snowball, protect himself until it's over.
Nice steal there from Old 11 with the Ice Shards. He got himself the...
bottom lane,
Centaur.
they're going to go on Mag with a Shadow Strike already. Karka starts with a shock. He does a lot of damage with Shackles as well. And this will buy time to just beat into this Night Stalker who can't run away from this. And he'll end up dying. That's first blood going the way of EHOME.
And CTY just sidestepped into the shop to buy boots while they were killing him, just to make sure they had the chase potential. Didn't need it. So off to a good start here on the safe lane, Queen of Pain. This is an awful lane to Night Stalker against, by the way. I'm not sure what Vega are expecting out of Mag in this game, but this is not good working conditions for him. But what are they going to do? They can rotate down the Disruptor, and then their Slardar gets destroying the top lane. So they're just in a pickle as far as the draft goes, where they have to sacrifice a lane. IO can't go down there either. Or well, technically that might be a solution. Just play one-on-one Tiny versus Dragon Knight.
Well, what if you move the Wisp and Tiny down the bottom lane? Let the Night Stalker at least try and farm, run bottle and use Void for farm. Because at the moment he's not getting much more.
You could actually do that. You could put Night Stalker mid, but he's already so out-leveled now by the Dragon Knight. Nice toss here from no one.
I got to pull that DK back. The slow's going to be there, but do they have enough damage? No bolts available here from Solo, and no one. He'll go for a secondary toss, but Old Chicken is just so damn tanky. And with no one taking that much damage from the tower, he's a little bit scared about, one, the rotation in from someone like the Tuskar, but two, also that Breathe Fire at level 2 from the DK. No one really needed level 2 before they started that.
Top lane. Lionel being harassed a bit by Sima. Can't really get too much out of this. So pretty quiet first 3 minutes. EHOME getting the first blood, of course. Still, as far as the farm goes, you just look across the lanes. It's unfolding according to their plan. They don't even need to build a lead. They just need to slow down the game, secure their key items in their farm over time. So far, so good.
Yeah. Safe lanes from EHOME. They go again on this middle lane, really trying to bring him down. This time, successful gank from Vega. I say gank, just initiation.
That's the most important hero for them to kill as well, I think. Well, Queen of Pain might be a better kill, but is also way less likely that they can threaten CTY right now. Just delaying the Dragon Knight level 6. Every kill helps keep their towers alive. And
really good timing for it too. They kill off the DK, which allows Sol to come down for this 4-minute rune without having to worry about being contested.
Now it's nighttime, and they could try for this. This, I think, is a pretty risky attempt.
And no one's in very, very close, but it's the bottom lane where they're going. As Karka silenced up for the moment, he just shocks him down. The Shackles will follow up into Mag, and can they control him long enough? CT1 does not enough damage to instantly kill off Mag. He'll end up losing his Shadow Shaman. In fact, with the Void, Mag's going to pick up a double kill as this Night Stalker.
All right, that's worth it. It looked pretty bad for them when the IO died with a haste rune. That's very unusual that happens for solo, but the end outcome is great for Vega, getting 2 kills on Mag, who was being shut down very much. He's back in the game.
And you'd expect EHOME to try and just bail out that as quick as you can. Nighttime arrives, and you don't want to fight Night Stalker if you can avoid it during that nighttime phase, especially this early on. Night Stalker works so well against the Queen of Pain. And now with phase boots for Mag, a quick sprinter across the map. Pulls the pressure off the middle lane too, so no one can go back to farming. He's almost neck and neck with the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain obviously has been throttling that bottom lane a lot more, and I'm kind of looking for both of them because they're the initiators from both sides. The Tiny... Actually, is this even a Blink Dagger game, or do you just go for the split push? Do you go for that early Aghanim Scepter build over on the Tiny? The combat build.
The really nice thing about Blink is that he can one-shot Shadow Shaman. And finding him before the fight starts is huge. And of course you have the safety net and just being able to relocate out if EHOME turns on you. I think it's great for that. But split push, it's all about the timing windows. If he gets the Ags, it's probably around minute 15, and that could already be so late that they've lost key towers that he might have been able to stand up and fight for with a blink.
So maybe then our timing, we should be looking at other heroes. No one. Oh, he's running for this top room, but Old Chicken's here. Lanham to help him out. And wherever they go, they've got enough damage to get through Soul. The Avalanche will go, but the Snowball protects. You might throw up the wall. Disruptor, the toss actually throws the Tuskar out of it. He'll beat down Solo with the last shards. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off. No one wants to retreat back into the dire jungle. They do have a level 2 glimpse available, but now Seema needs to vision the wall to do it, and that'll actually keep the rest of the raiding inside out. So Old Chicken isolated in the top river, and Night Stalker rotates for yet another kill. That's 3 kills in this first nighttime phase.
Very, very nice play from Vega here.
Are they going again?
Good rotation. And again, Dragon Knight dies. This is... I can't stress enough how important it is that they're finding this particular kill. Just to him as much as possible. He's the biggest threat to their lineup. It's Dragon Knight and it's Levels and Shadow Shaman. They haven't done too well on the second thing here. Kaka already almost level 6.
A little bit of trouble. Mag, that Observer Ward let him know what he was up against. They just tossed a creep in, clean to the tree line, but Lanham gets a shield off in time. No ultimate, however, so he will not survive this. Old Chicken finds himself also on the front lines, but CTY, he wanted a good Sonic Wave tossed up. Now the Sonic Wave, it does pick up the IO, and they need a little bit more. Old Chicken, Dragon Form is up. Dragon Tail back off cooldown. The crush from Pasha buys space, but that space instantly removed by Old 11. Getting the shards out, and they just snowball up towards the running away Slaughter, but it's a double kill for CTY. The Queen of Pain and the DK comboing together beautifully. And Vega, their first unfavorable fight in a while.
They just didn't get that much out of the rotation here from the Slargar. This is not the kind of fight that he's good in. He couldn't find the crush that he was looking for, and this is going to delay his Blink Dagger quite a bit. Now Dragon Knight, of course, winning the fight for the first time, will be able to put out a lot of pressure. Tiny will TP in. This might stop the push. Nope, they actually don't seem to care that much.
Well, they've still got a long time left on that Dragon Form, so if he can keep the attack going, he'll drop the tower down. But that does put it within deny range, so they're going to back up and let it be. Meanwhile, on bottom lane, Shaman's hit level 6, and he's thrown the Mass Serpent Ward. So Vega, they're being poked and prodded on all sides, and this is an unwilling patient.
This is a big problem.
They're actually going past it. They're not killing off the wards. The wards are going to get the last hit in the tower. They came in with a smoke egg, and now CTY, he gets glimpsed down. He can find around the Mass Serpent Wards, but he's looking over towards Seema. No Sonic Wave available. We'll get silenced up, and CTY, okay, really...
I mean, that's pretty cocky after you cast Darkness.
Yeah.
You just run in on the Disruptor like that. He didn't even have that much mana. I don't think he could have killed him.
He could have just blinked himself away.
Yeah,
or even blink down to the Mass Serpent Wards, because if he was there, he had the extra, like, the cover fire.
He might not have been sure where Ag was after casting the Darkness, but that play was not going to help him at the very least.
And he was your top net worth for EHOME.
They still get 2 towers, though. Dragon Knight almost has the mid. They did get bottom with Serpent Wards.
DK actually has to commit to this mid. It's within deny range in Vega. They need to stop this money from just bleeding into EHOME. We already talked about the trouble nature of Vega. With their timing up against EHOME's timing, you start giving them more money. That Blink Dagger starts arriving earlier for the Tuskar. The DK starts getting more and more tanking items. And in fact, they're just going to move forward. The shard's over. The Seema Dragon Form committed instantly after. And well, Solo, he'll have a little bit of space. That Disruptor already goes down, but doesn't catch out enough heroes. The DK will pop. And that's the big thing. It isolated, or separated EHOME, I should say. Odd Left will buy a little bit of time going inside that snowball with the shards out. The Sonic Wave hitting all of Vega with a high-level shock as well. Vega copying way too much damage. The Scream almost killing off Pasha. He'll try and slither himself away. No one with the Avalanche toss. Not enough damage to kill off CTY. He's got Blink back off cooldown. Does he go? Yes, he does, but Pasha just far enough away. So CTY can't finish a quad kill. He'll have to settle for a triple.
I think he's still happy with that. That's pretty good. He's gonna have his Yule Scepter now as a result. I like this item choice a lot this game. It's what I was talking about last game as a possibility for Pasha on the Queen. This time we're gonna see it on CTY. Of course, a solution to the Night Stalker silence. If you time it well, you can maybe dodge Avalanche Toss, and can also buy you that extra time to get out of the kinetic field. It currently lasts about the same time as the kinetic field. And after that, you just run out and get out of the Static Storm.
No one actually triggering a drum charge here on the bottom lane. Trying to catch out CTY, but CTY gets all the farm he wants. That full Yules, as you were saying, and an extra little bit of cash for the TP scroll.
Can also remove the Amplify. There's a lot of potential in this item pickup. And that's just the defensive uses, right? He can also use it aggressively to set up very easily for a Dragon Knight follow-up.
Speaking of defensive nature, like one pass is going to need it in a moment because Lanham's going to walk up. And, well, you enjoy that 5% slow. The top tier 1 tower is going to be taken out. But it's this middle lane where I'm still waiting for Sol to hit level 6. They do not have relocate to either initiate or disengage from Vega. So CT waits this out. If the rest of his team is on this way, blinks forward, can Yule step the rover on no one if he wants to. But instead waits it out. And Vega's still having this vision. This observer wall's been here for a very long time.
Doesn't see the smoke Shadow Shaman though. But
They'll see Seema. Seema tries to walk into the tree lines and TP out, and that Yule scepter from CTY already ensures the kill over on Seema. With the Walrus Punch from Mod 11, they're going to find another kill.
they could try to go for a tower here if Dragon Knight could rotate fast enough. He has the potential of just porting mid and using Dragon Form going in, but instead
Wondering
they're
if you
going to
need to. Like, you got Mass Serpent Wards available. You can just leave the DK on that top lane having fun with Pasha, who is going to amplify him, or they can just kill off Pasha and then go for the tier 2 tower. The pings are coming out saying he's moving back quickly. CTY could potentially blink, but they just commit the Mass Serpent Wards down and ensure this push. It's the run at you strat from EHOME, and it's working so well against Vega. 12 minutes in, and you're already looking to take out the first tier 2 tower.
Yeah, that thing I was talking about pregame with the potential of it being a 20-minute game. This is the events that need to unfold for it to become a 20-minute game. EHOME are getting everything they want. It hasn't been perfect, but it's been very good.
Is there any follow-up to this? No, there isn't. Odd Lever's just trying to back up. The relocate's kicking in. It's going to bring in no one. Disruptor holding down again. Not catching enough heroes. Tusker can't survive with his one charge, but the Sonic Wave hits Vega so hard. Mag wants to retreat back out of here. They've got 2 seconds until that relocate will drag him out, but it can't do anything. There was enough damage with the shock. The DK finds the kill, and Old Chicken commits him pretty deep here. So does CTY, jumping in a long way. Mag's Shadow strikes up, so he can't stick around, and with the nuke arriving from Latham, the Yule Scepter dodges the avalanche, and Vega, it's 13 minutes, and they're dying behind their own tier 3 towers, almost under their tier 4s.
Yeah, they will be forced back here. There might be a... Nope. Oh, well, he does have 1 charges, but no...
Glimpses on cooldown. And he's lost the vision on the high ground. Actually, no, the Observer Ward's there. They can drag him back. The rest of EHOME have kind of disappeared, and now with the drum charge going, Pasha, he won't be able to catch up to the DK straight away. They can keep the chase going, and now the fact that Mag is hot on the tail, they should be able to catch up to the DK. They still have enough to kill him. With the crush and the amplification up, they should do it. Yeah, they got enough. The DK will...
Kill goes to Disruptor. Probably not the hero they wanted to get that. They really need... See, that's the problem here. Is the Blink Dagger on Slaughter even the right choice? Maybe going Force Staff first can help a lot to get people out. Ice Shards create a gap when they're getting Shackled or Dragon Knight initiated. The Blink Dagger gives them the potential burst and the surprise factor. But if EHOME don't die through that initiation, then the turnaround is going to be very easy for them.
We'll see he's going to go a Blink Dagger anyway.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's the stable choice.
It is. It might also be because he looks at his second item build, like, where do you want to go after that? Do you really want to look into like the Blink Dagger 4 stuff? While it has become more of a staple over on the Slaughter, maybe it's worthwhile getting a BKB in this game, as EHOME will be looking to fight pretty hard as they push into the tier 3 towers. You're going to need to have that ability for Shaman not to screw around with you.
I think the first goal is to get to a point where you can get a second item. If they already get there, they've overcome the hardest part of the game, which is the up-and-coming 10 to 15 minutes. It's not realistic for Slaughter to get a secondary item at least before minute 20, probably 25, unless they get some really good fights. I guess a Force Staff he can get in the next 6 or 7 minutes, but...
Well, EHOME are now going to take out Roshan. It's a very standard kind of thing when you've taken out, well, already even before you take out a couple of these towers, just using the Mass Serpent to ensure you got the damage to kill off Roshan. They don't really have a great Rosh killing lineup, EHOME, and that's where the wards help out. And they can do it fast enough that Vega, they can even apply pressure to this top lane. The Axe isn't done on no one, so you don't have that extra building damage just yet. And Fortification's also available for EHOME, so they grab Roshan, and now the choice is there. Do they go for the tier 2 tower on bottom lane, or do they defend tier 1 on top?
They're too late to defend. If they start porting in heroes, they need to port in the tier 2. They can't just port to 3 heroes on the tier 1.
They actually don't have them too. CTY doesn't have a TP scroll.
Not gonna happen. Trading for tier 2 though is fine. They don't have to protect every single tower. They just need to make sure they at least draw and reach the enemy base with Serpent Wards when it's time. It's still a minute for that, so they're probably gonna go back now and defend tier 2, I would imagine.
And EHOME's teamfight's getting stronger and stronger. That mech now done over on the Tuskar. So he also backed up from going for the Blink Dagger. That'll probably be filled up by, well, actually, is it a DK Blink Dagger game? Is it him being the initiator? Or can you get a little bit of a cross so he still gets the extra damage? Going for something more like a Shadow Blade DK. A little bit more old school.
I think if they're looking to break the base, it's between a blink and just tanking up. All right, that's the blink. So he can initiate. The alternative would be just to build something like, say, Sanjinyasha, or even consider a BKB this early, just so you can start breaking the base.
Queen of the Hill wants to go for solo. Is it going to be worth coming in the Sonic Wave? Not even required. Not while the Tuskar's there. They know no one came down as well because of where she's sitting. So the Scream will connect, and with the Eul Scepter, they'll set him up, they'll drop him down, and now they can blast him out. Well, they actually need to, or else Old 11's going to go down. She gets himself out of the ulti. The Storm not doing enough work. In fact, Old 11, even with that Static Storm, it's not doing enough damage. Lanham will arrive. They'll snowball over, and now Lanham can give him the shield as well as the Miscoil. The life arriving back in Seema. Now it's his turn. The tree lines comes underneath the sigil. Yeah. And now CTY as well as Old Chicken will ensure the kill.
Very, very nice play from the Tusk there, knowing his limits. Gets the snowball ready again, crosses over to his ally and stays safe. Of course, the mechanism, maybe a little bit of a surprise there for Vega that he was able to burst heal with that. And they get... Was that 2 kills? Yeah, they get 2 kills. They did not get the Tiny that they were looking for.
They didn't get the Tiny, but they took the tier 2 tower in the middle lane because Shaman just dropped the wards down while that was going on.
I think the next Shaman wards EHOME go high ground. It's at that time. It's about the 20-minute mark when their lineup peaks and they can look to end the game or at least get one lane.
They really have to wait for the wards though, don't they? Because it's still very early in the game, so Vega's cooldown on death timers is still pretty damn low. Bottom lane, Snowball. Oh, he's going to come in as goes down. Old 11 walled up, and he'll end up dropping as well. The balls will just kill him off, but then Queen of Pain comes in from behind. Solo still so low, and he does actually tick out to the DK. No one will follow, and it's DK with a double kill. They may not even need the wards to get this. With the pickoffs, actually 40 seconds on the sideline, and Tiny buys back. This is so expensive for him. 3 buybacks. IO, Tiny, and Tusk all doing it. Tusk is trying to get back as quick as he possibly can. CTY, they have to bail out of here. Blink actually still got the Aegis Immortal, so the Queen of Pain will come back to life again. The Breathe Fire doing some work, keeping Mag low enough that EHOME can keep fighting. CTY, what's he got left? The Orc is back off cooldown, and now he actually triggers it over on Seema with a Scream damage that should almost be enough to pop the Disruptor. Maybe 2 more attacks to do the work, but with a cross from Pasture, it gives EHOME control, but the shards locking no one in. Then what they got, there's no way to get him back out. Solo trying to go for the relocate.
Oh, wow.
There it is, just in the nick of time. Pasture's moving away, but with all this time passing, the Mass Serpent Wards are back off cooldown, attacking into that tier 3 tower. It probably won't be able to finish the job, but they'll be forced into the engagement. No, they will cut their losses. Old Chicken limps back. This will allow Vega to get some exit kills, but they still have a heavy cost for that fight.
That's a game-saving relocate, though. I think they would have lost if he didn't get that out before Tiny died. He already bought back. If no one dies again, they lose the lane of racks, then EHOME don't even need to go back. So big play from Solo to keep Vega alive, but still 10,000 deficit minute 19. And you just know EHOME are going to come knocking on the front door again.
Yeah. You could almost have an exact timing of it in 75 seconds. You'll be having EHOME coming back. And maybe it's worthwhile now for EHOME to give a little bit more space to Kaka, so he's able to get that second level up into the Mass Serpent wards. He's also got a lot of money himself. Potential Blink Dagger for the Shaman. So a secondary initiator for EHOME to go with the Blink Dagger of the DK. Not to mention the Blink of the Queen of Pain.
So he gets an Illusion, that's not really that useful. And now it's nighttime, so this is good news for Vega. They almost have the BKB on Mag, so he can finally engage into fights. He's 5-1-4, which is pretty admirable for this game. I don't think Nightstalker is that good against the Radiant lineup. So much lockdown, so tanky innately with the Abaddon and the Dragon Knight. But he's done a really good job. Getting BKB will finally allow him to commit to fights. And this is where Vega want to get to. Aghanim's Tiny. BKB on Nightstalker. It's still difficult, and EHOME are not messing around. They're going to go right away.
Yeah, well, they know once the Mass Serpent wards are off cooldown in 8 seconds time, they will be taking out that tier 3 tower. So that is the minimum of what they want to gain from this fight on bottom lane. But but with a fresh Blink Dagger, a surprise Blink Dagger from the Shaman. He's still not level 11 yet. They even gave him the bounty rune on bottom to try and get him there. But jump forward, Mass Open Water down.
It's very defensively
shallow.
placed.
Oh,
They can't reach
Chicken,
the racks.
He blinks himself forward. They can't lock no one close enough. Maybe at least from here they understand they can keep their Mass Open Wards alive. That's one upside, and Vega. They're going for the AO wraparound,
Three
and
of them
they
can reach. Yay.
there's an Observe Ward up on the hillside, so the smoke will break. Mag instantly triggers his BKB and Kaka. He's meant to be caught out in Pasha. A big double stun, allowing no one to move forward. Swing and cleave. He's looking for more damage. How much have they got there? Meg keeping Kaka alive. Mag wants to keep running, but his BKB's one off. If they get the control, the shock doesn't even come up, and Mag coming so much damage from Pasha again. A huge stun. Maybe they got the control. Old Chicken's over Snowball. Nothing is left, but the shards are keeping them here. Old Chicken, he's just so damn tanky. Now he'll finally go down. As no one really popping it out. Lanham, they're just tossing it around. The Snowball's back in again. No Walrus Punch left. Mag barely missing the Ice Shards. It's 2-on-2 left. Old Chicken can't reach Pasha or Mag as they retreat back out again. And Lanham working overtime as a support for EHOME.
Just look at how much Abaddon is doing in these fights. It's unbelievable that they managed to pull that back to 3-for-3 exchange. It looked like they're going to get run over. CTY didn't get a spell off in that fight, and they still draw it. They do lose a lot of gold because they're far ahead, and of course losing their two biggest cores, but that's still incredible from EHOME, and both teams playing a really, really good fight.
Man, big props to Pasha. He gave so much breathing space to Vega. The fact that Tiny stayed alive as long as he did as well. Like, this is a Tiny with just an Ags, Drum, and Treads. I know we're 22 minutes in, so that's really not that bad. But with the fights being as intense as they are from EHOME, you should be very happy you can survive with only 8 armor on that Tiny.
It's all about CTY not getting spell. I mean, if CTY doesn't get burst there, imagine that fight where, let's just say he gets one Scream and a Sonic Wave off. They would have just wiped Vega out very easily. So it still bodes well for EHOME, knowing that, okay, we had a fight where our Queen of Pain just got completely destroyed, and we still salvaged it. So if that doesn't happen again...
It was still fairly even, and they did it during nighttime.
That's true. It's going to be day in about a minute.
Yeah.
Mag will have darkness for that, though, so they can always have those 50 seconds of
Are they coming again?
potential fighting.
They're coming again. Like, you've already taken
why
out the
not?
tier 3 tower. Like,
Okay, Old Chicken is 50 gold away from...
I would also
maybe.
I would also say the other reason is that Roshan's going to be spawning up. The teams don't know he's obviously going to spawn in 35 seconds, but they'll find out sooner or later.
It's the BKB for Old Chicken coming out.
Have they finished the... Okay, so the Vlads are still also being worked on by Lanham. Just racking up the auras.
How close is he? 900. He needs the mask. Now drawing a little bit of a square here. Oh, that's not a square at all, actually. They are expecting that Vega are somewhere in that area. They weren't that far off, and now they're going to see them in the ward. No one got a lot out of that previous fight, by the way. Looking at the net worth, he's almost caught up to Queen of Pain.
This is when you can start seeing things like Assault Cuirass arriving in, and DK will have a lot of his power stripped away. Roshan is now up. EHOME is well aware of this. And Vega with that Blink Dagger on the Slaughter, they got a lot of ways they can contest this. They just don't have that unobstructed vision. And CTY also gets a little bit of momentum. And he just actually blinked himself stuck into the tree line. Now he'll blink out.
They TP back to base. This is EHOME's cue to go in and get something done.
But it's Solo and no one that went back. There's the 2 heroes that can be relocated down.
I think Seema TP'd as well. Like,
Yeah, they all came back.
5 heroes away?
They could have stuck around, or at least forced to the tier 1 tower, expecting EHOME to be at least go for some kind of trade-off here.
I think the ping just came out from no one. They're doing it, but I'm not sure I agree with Vega's call of not trying to contest this. They have to know what's going on. They're just trying to get everything out of the map, rune, push wave, etc. But fighting inside their own base is obviously a positional advantage, but I think the Aegis outweighs it when you don't have your tower.
Yeah. Because it allows EHOME to finish what they started a while ago, and that's to take out that bottom ranks, have the superior team fight because of that second life on the Queen of Pain now. So they come to defend, and EHOME, well, the ball's being drawn now to head towards the top lane. That's Lanham calling the shots. Because there was a little bit of controversy about how EHOME would be performing and communicating after a couple of recent things. Like, you try and glimpse, but You've already got old 11 there. He's got the Tranquil Boost ready to go, as now they're actually running themselves forward. That disrupts their ulti. Have they got punch? 11, he gets himself out of it. Flip Steamer, and now allow him to get the quick pick off. Shaman actually kills Securing by blinking forward with that shock to find the kill.
All right.
And sorry, it was Greaves. Yep. Can't relocate save, so ends up losing his life. And Shaman picks up a double kill. I'm actually perfectly all right with that, considering it's just going to bring forward that BK, that Aghanim Scepter a lot sooner. Mag also just had to burn his BKB charge to survive a gank from the Queen of Pain. She blinked in with both Orchid, Shadow Strike, and all he could do was TP away to safety.
And they're coming up mid lane really, really fast. There's 25 seconds on the IO. They won't be ready for this defense. They're going to lose the tier 3, or EHOME could just go bottom, drop the wards here.
You got no BKBs. Like, the Slaughter is still trying to build his BKB, and the Night Stalker has his on cooldown for another 48 seconds. So the Mass Serpent wards get dropped. Vega have to use the fortification to slow this down. And what are you going to do? Initiate an old chicken? He's also shielded up. So the initial damage won't do anything, and they just jump on Mag. A three-way right now, just destroying off that Night Stalker. And then also the range Rex to go down. No Night Stalker here, as you said. No buyback available. Old Chicken protect himself inside the BKB, but they jumped off. They wanted IO gone, and the wish shall be granted with a Sonic Wave, removing him from the back of the They'll go for the Avalanche Toss and the Cleaver. No one can start doing work, but they've already lost Cena. He's basically got no friends left. Even the Courier is in jeopardy of dying. Pasha and no one forced back into their fountain. Karkar's wards held finish up most of that bottom lane, but now EHOME, with so many heroes dead for Vega for 25 seconds till they're back to 5, they can force in and take out this tier 3 tower at least. They can look for more, being the mid-racks.
Yeah, they're definitely getting 2 lanes here. I think 15 seconds should be enough.
They got Dragon Form off cooldown in 2 seconds time, sure. Yep. No Mass Serpent wards up just
yet. He's not using it, actually. A little bit surprising, but... Yep.
Get the melee, get out. The fact you don't have to use your Dragon Form and you can still retreat Vega. Vega don't want to let this happen. If you see that TP coming, and very quickly cancelled after he realized EHOME were turning. The glimpse, old chicken, he's not too far out. That BKB still on cooldown for 6 more seconds. Look for that Hex, but a big disruptor ulti, making so EHOME can't instantly reply. But Lanham just hangs through it. Old chicken, he was Glimmer caved away to safety, and now he can actually control Seema over on the left hand side of the battle. And again, they isolate that IO. You might have the battle going on the side with Kaka actually standing its ground against 2 cores of Vega. But now the rest of EHOME will rotate back over. CTY getting a little bit more space away from that Tiny. The BKB will wear off in just 2 seconds. CTY blinks over, back over towards Pasha with a Shadow Strike. They go forward, but it's GG. EHOME will 2-0 Vega here at the Frankfurt Dota 2 Major, eliminating Vega from the competition.
I gotta say, whoever is gonna play EHOME next, they should really ban this Abaddon in the second phase. Once again, I think Lanham just discovered a long-lost secret for this matchup. And
it works so well, and it works so well up against Slaughter, one of the most popular heroes of this tournament.
They play so well around it too. They've tailored the lineup so that they can enable enable the Abaddon, especially in this game, having both Tusk and Dragon Knight that can commit in with not with Iron Shells, Aphotic Shields, and just keep tanking it up and stay safe. And what a great lineup from EHOME, and once again, exceptionally well executed by them as well.
And in both games, we saw EHOME going for this kind of push strat. Like, you have the Luna in the first game. The Shadow Shaman kind of gave you what you're looking for in that too by having the Mass Serpent wards.